before we start, could you maybe start by telling me who you are, what's your role in your company, what's your company about?
Yeah, I'm Derrick. I'm the Director of Data and Technology for Golden Rule. Our company is a home services company, there we go, that specializes in plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical in the Des Moines metro area, so Des Moines, Iowa, in the United States. We provide, again, heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical services for residential homeowners in the Des Moines metro area. We're about a $35 million a year company in revenue, and we have about 150 to 175 total employees and about
A lot.
about 75 technicians out on the road servicing our customers every day.
Perfect. So you'll need a lot of dashboards then. I would love to ask you, what did it look like before using Plecto? How did you manage performance tracking?
So again, we're using Plecto for our 3-day call board. So the 3-day call board helps us keep track of how many jobs that we have on each of our days, today and then the next 3 days. And we want to be filled to certain thresholds for our inspections that we'll do on homeowners' systems. And then we need to leave enough room for demand. So when something's broken, the customer to call in. And if we have a lot of demand, then we need to reduce the number of checks. And if we don't have as much demand, then we need to increase the number of checks. And it's constantly that balancing act. And we use Plecto and the boards that we've created to help us manage that in an automated way. So to answer your question, before we had a whiteboard in the CSR room that the CSR manager or the team lead would run reports out of our CRM and then would write down on a piece of paper all of the numbers. And that would be like they would do that at 7 a.m. And then every few hours, 2 to 3 hours, they would write down all these numbers and then take that piece of paper over to the board and write it down so that everybody could see it. And it just created this a little bit of lag between what we have, what we need, where we're at, where do we need to be. And then there was nothing in real time that said if we hit our number for a particular day to tell
Mhm.
people to stop. So sometimes we then got overbooked
Mhm.
on a particular day, which would then obviously impact our customers when we had to reschedule calls. And so we had sometimes a number of unhappy customers when we asked people to reschedule. So with Plecto, it has a direct connection into our CRM and it updates in near real time and keeps track of all the categories that we find important and reports it in real time. And that's up on our CSR TV in our CSR room, our customer service room. And again, in our marketing department. So our
Mhm.
marketing team can see when we're short and know that they need to go take action. And yeah, it's really become a centralized hub for us to understand where we're at, where we're short, and what we need to do.
Very handy. Thank you so much. Since adopting Plecto, I was actually wondering, like, I understand that the whiteboards were time consuming, etc., etc. But I was wondering, how are your employees adapting or like handling the change, going from this to digitalization of the data?
Yeah, so it took about 8 months of continuing to just put it in front of them before we got real adoption, candidly. That's nothing on Plecto and everything on our internal teams. But now, again, after that amount of time, now it's just normal. The old whiteboard was finally erased, unfortunately, only a couple months ago. And now people have come to rely on it and know that it's there and updated, available.
And has it somehow influenced behavior of the employees that they can see
Um,
it happening?
yeah, I mean, instead of, the employees needing to question where they're at or what they're doing, if someone calls in looking for a check, they can turn around, look at the TV, and know within moments if they should book it for today or for another day, just at a glance.
That's very handy and helpful and efficient.
Yeah.
I can imagine that that helps. Now, how has real-time visibility impacted the number of calls or visits your team can manage? If there was a significant change in that matter?
Yeah, I mean, certainly the real-time connection with our CRM has made it very nice for us to be able to see throughout the day where we're at, and knowing that in real time makes the data more actionable as opposed to when it's, only being done every 3 hours or so. It's much less actionable. Now we can manage when we stop booking inspections, or when we're taking more demand, or when the phone starts ringing heavy, backing down demand numbers. That is able to be done in more real time.
Awesome. Now let's try to go a little bit to the dark ages. Imagine, hopefully not, but imagine if Flecto were suddenly unavailable. What would change in your daily operations?
Yeah, so we would very quickly fall back to our old process of the whiteboard, and we would really have to increase our manual communications between people to stay as efficient as we are today. So communicating across our teams becomes more difficult. Communicating with departments like marketing becomes more important than it is today, where they can just see the numbers and everybody's inherently on the same page.
Totally. Okay, that's also perfectly fine. And what would you say to the other companies that are considering Plecto if they asked you about it?
Yeah, I mean, I would just share that if they are, doing the 3-day call board the old way, of keeping track of it manually or running reports to get their right numbers, that they're wasting valuable time, and that, Plecto is a tool that could help them do this, automated, always on, always in front, doesn't rely on people to make updates. It's always pulling the right numbers.